Hi, everybody. My name is Mr. Soderic. I'm the physical education teacher at your school or your student's school. And today I'm going to be running you through our next unit. It is our 7th grade basketball unit. The mission for our physical education program is we want to provide students with opportunities to attain knowledge, skills, and attitudes critical to choosing behaviors that enhance health and wellness through learning experiences with objectives based on the components of a physically literate individual. The middle school portion of this program, the goal of that is we want physical education programs to teach students application of skills and tactics through a variety of sports and recreation to increase the likelihood of participation in physical activity. That's a lot to take in. In layman's terms, what it means is we want students to become competent and confident enough in their skills and sports so that they'll be more inclined to play them for recreation and fitness. We want all of our students to be physically active, um, and we believe that a student that's physically literate becomes physically active. So the physically literate individual has the knowledge, skills, attitudes, and fitness abilities that it takes to play in sports. In middle school, we're focusing on the skills, um, or we're focusing on teaching all that, teaching the skills, character, fitness, and knowledge through sports. We want them to be familiar with a variety of activities and confident in their abilities so that they'll actually play them once they leave our program. This is because physical activity has many benefits. Physical activity maintains and also improves brain health, decreases the chances of heart disease, strokes, Alzheimer's, and it also increases your immune system, so it makes minor sicknesses less severe. It increases your fitness, so your just everyday ability to perform tasks, reduces injury risk, strengthens your bones and muscles, and as of the past few years, and even before then, we're entering a mental health epidemic. It's everybody's talking about it. Everybody wants to address it. Schools are up in arms about what can we do to help kids with mental health. Well, physical activity, one of the best remedies for it. It reduces anxiety, stress, and depression. And then also, many studies have shown that high levels of fitness correlate with higher salaries. So, some future impact on the jobs and careers and how effective our students become in their whatever job they choose after school. So, why basketball? Why are we using basketball to teach these aspects of health and well-being to our students? Well, the physically literate individual, as we say, is competent in a variety of sports and fitness activities. Uh, and then we selected basketball for a variety of reasons. So basketball is the team sport with the most participation. This chart it shows the most common sports and exercise activities, and the top ones are all solo fitness activities. You can see like walking, weightlifting, running. Not that these are 100% solo. You can obviously run together, walk together, but for the most part, people are people are not participating in team sports. But for the ones that do, basketball is the first team sport listed. It's the most popular one. So to get students competent in a variety, we have to include at least some team sports and give them the opportunity to play these after high school. So basketball offers many opportunities to participate. Local rec centers, school teams, of course. Most courts or most parks have a court, and driveways. You can drive down the road and see basketball hoops in I'd say 50% of driveways. So there's plenty of opportunity. Doesn't you only need the ball and the hoop. So unlike football or soccer, there's lots of spaces to have a game. Basketball has many different games uh, to play. There's plenty of different options for someone who has competent skills to choose from. So depending on your time, your fitness level, how many players you have, and your skill level, Uh, there's always plenty of options to choose from. You could just shoot around. Um, you could play pig with a partner, just seeing who can make the most or more difficult shots. There's 1-on-1, 5-on-5, 3-on-3. Gusmaker is a traveling tournament that may have tournaments in the surrounding cities or even our city from time to time. They travel around and host these 3-on-3 tournaments. Uh, the other game I have up here is Around the World, just another shooting game. So there's lots of different options to choose from once you have the skills necessary. Some more reasons why we choose to teach basketball. These aren't specific to basketball, but I feel like they're definitely emphasized in the way the game's played. So decision making. Basketball is an open skill. It means uh, the environment is constantly changing. It's dynamic. So you have to think quickly on your feet and look at your opportunities and decide quickly which is the best option. Um, Reaction time. It's a dynamic environment changes, so you have to adapt with it. Transfer of tactics and skills. The strategies and tactics you learn in basketball, like getting open, getting your teammates open, passing to the open player. It translates well to hockey, soccer, handball. By learning this game, you'll be able to understand the fundamentals of those other games. It improves balance and coordination for sure. There's a lot of movement in the game, a lot of quick cuts, so it improves your agility. And then communication skills. It's a team sport, so you have to constantly be talking with your teammate about who's who, what's what, and where to be. And that's in game, but also outside of the game. You have to talk with your team and strategize about what's the best way to get open. Whose strengths should we play to? Whose weaknesses should we try and hide? What do we want to do about the other team's best player? So it makes you work together, talk together about what you want to do and how you want to do it. Um, Also, basketball, uh, the NBA players that shoot 40% from three are considered fantastic. So you're going if the pros are only making 4 out of 10, you're going to you're probably going to not have a super high success rate as a recreational player, and that's that's just something you have to communicate with. You have to lift your teammates up when they miss shots. You have to remind them that as long as they're giving effort and hustle, that they're doing their best to help the team. Not everything is going to go right every time, so it allows students to talk with each other, encourage each other, and really display good character. It's an opportunity to be a good teammate. So what are we going to learn? The unit goal that we want students to have when they graduate high school is we want to equip students with knowledge and skills necessary to participate in recreational games of basketball or physical activity. We're going to do this through, we're going to, we have 4 domains. We're going to do skills, knowledge, character, and fitness. Those will be the domains in which we try and learn. So for skills, our 7th grade benchmark is to execute the skills of basketball correctly at functional levels when using them in combination during drills and lead-up games, and then know the rules regarding play. So we have our 4 skills that we've determined are the core components of basketball: shooting, layups, dribbling, and passing. And the benchmarks for these drills, or for these skills, is shooting. We want them to score at least a 3 on a form rubric when shooting from 10 feet, scoring on at least 3 out of 10 shots. Layups, we want them to score at least a 3 on the rubric when attempting a layup, making at least 4 out of 5 attempts with each hand. Dribble, we want them to maintain a dribble with both dominant and non-dominant hands at a jogging speed for 60 seconds while scoring a 3 on that form rubric. And then for passing, we want them to score the 3 on that form rubric when they pass all three types of passes, chest, bounce, and overhead, from 15 feet away to a partner, so that the partner does not have to move their feet to catch the ball. For our knowledge component, we're going to have a written test, multiple choice, and we want them to answer at least 80% or score at least an 80% on the items. It's going to cover the benefits of basketball, the correct form for our skills, rules and boundaries, and then terminology. Fitness aspect, we're going to be playing modified games, and we want students to be able to play those at a moderate to vigorous intensity level, and we want them to play for at least 5 minutes. Some of our students with higher fitness will be able to play a while longer, but we think 5 minutes is a good minimum benchmark for the type and intensity of the games that we're going to play. And we want them to be able to do that without showing undue fatigue. So obviously, if they play hard, which we want them to, they're going to be breathing hard, and after a whole class of it, they may feel tired. We don't want them hands on their knees gasping for breath after every drill, unable to go on. We just want them to be able to complete the drills and games at a reasonable level of fatigue. Then for character, we want them to demonstrate accountability. Students are going to be working in practice teams, which I'll go over in a second. But they're going to have to record progress for themselves and each other, and the participation of themselves and each other. So we just want them to be accountable, report accurately how much everybody has contributed to the group and done, and accurately measure and record the progress that you've made. How are we going to learn? So we're going to set daily objectives in each of the domains. Then we'll have the class break up into practice teams. I would like to see a variety of skill levels on each teams when I make them. That way, students who are excelling, students that have played basketball before or are currently on a basketball team, they can kind of help other students that have not had as much experience. It'll kind of allow kind of peer-on-peer interactions. It'll be good for character and that communication that we talked about earlier, and it'll give our students that are already competent, it'll give them a good chance to take that leadership role to try and help others, teach others what they already know. In those practice teams, we'll be doing drills. We might also be doing drills individually or as a class at times, but we're going to have each of those teams doing drills, perhaps different drills for each team, and then rotate, or all doing the same drill at once. And then this is where those self-progress reports and team progress reports are going to be made from. And then lastly, of course, we want physical education to be fun. So we'll be doing lots of modified games and competitions between the groups, sometimes individually, sometimes we'll split up. Sometimes we'll do these by practice teams, sometimes we can do it by skill level. We're gonna try and have a lot of fun with it. So, competency. What is the grade comprised of? So, skill is going to be 30%, character 30%, knowledge 30%, and then fitness 10%. For the skills, we want them to receive at least a 3 on the rubrics for all 4 skills. That'll get them full points. Character, we want them filling out the self and team progress reports as well as a team participation survey, and we'll use those to determine the score for each student. The knowledge tests, we will just want students to score an 80% or higher. That'll get them full points. And then for fitness, we want them to play for over 5 minutes at that moderate to vigorous level without showing undue fatigue. So if they're able to do all those, they'll receive full points for the unit. And finally, going forward, I've linked a video at the bottom here. It's about the rules and boundaries and terminology of basketball. I want students to watch it, and I want them to come to class and be able to explain the following 3 things that I picked out. So one is the value of shots. What separates a shot that's worth 1 point from 2 points from 3 points, and where on the court is each shot taken from. Then travels and double dribbles. I'd like them to know the definition and be able to show me what each of them is. And then I want them to be able to explain a situation that would result in a free throw and show me where you shoot a free throw from. So if we watch the video and get ready to explain those, then you'll be ready for class on Monday, and I look forward to seeing everybody there.